So base excision by DNA glycosylase and strand cleavage by epiendonuclease introduces a gap with a 5' deoxyribose phosphate on one side and a 3' hydroxyl on the other side. So if a damaged base is present in one strand, first DNA glycosylase excises the base, and then AP endonucleases introduce a cut or a nick. So after this nick, a gap is produced. So in this gap, on one side is the 3' hydroxyl group, and on the other side of the strand is a 5' deoxyribose phosphate. So here in this figure you can see this is intact DNA strand, and so a base is excised from here. So this is a basic site, and then a nick is produced by epiendonuclease, and that nick is produced here. So after these two reactions, a gap is introduced. So in this gap, on one side is 3' hydroxyl group, and on the other side is a 5' deoxyribose phosphate. So it should be further repaired, although the damaged base has been excised, but the repair is still there. So additional enzymes are required to fill in the gap and remove the 5' deoxyribose phosphate. So the filling of gap is also important, and the removal of 5' deoxyribose is also important. Why it's important? Because if this 5' deoxyribose phosphate is present, new nucleotide cannot be added, and the gap cannot be filled. So it is necessary to remove this A basic site. So cells can repair this damage by two different pathways, namely short patch repair and long patch repair. So in the short patch repair, only a single nucleotide is replaced, as the name is indicating, short patch repair. So only one nucleotide is replaced. This repair pathway involves the following enzyme catalyzed reactions. So in the first reaction, DNA polymerase adds a deoxyribonucleotide to the 3' hydroxyl group. So this DNA polymerase can add only nucleotides to the 3' end. As you know, you learnt during DNA replication, it can add new nucleotides only to the 3' end. So this enzyme adds a new nucleotide to the 3' hydroxyl end. In the second reaction, deoxyribose phosphate lyase DRPase enzyme, it removes 5' deoxyribose phosphate from the 5' end. So on one side, on the 3' hydroxyl side, one new nucleotide has been added, while on the other side of the strand, which is 5' side, this deoxyribose phosphate must be removed. So second step is the removal of this deoxyribose phosphate. And in the third step, the DNA ligase joins the adjacent ends. So after these two reactions, the strand is like this. On this side, there is a complete DNA nucleotides. The one that was which was damaged, that was removed, that has been removed. So it is complete DNA strand. So when 5' deoxyribose is removed from this side, it is also complete now. So next step is the ligation. So DNA ligase ligates these two ends. In E. coli, DNA polymerase 1 fills in the gap while in eukaryotes, a single highly conserved enzyme, that is DNA polymerase beta, shortly called Pol beta, it fills the gap using the undamaged DNA strand as the template. So the undamaged strand is used as a template to fill in the gap. So here is the summary of short patch repair. So this is the damaged base, and DNA glycosylase enzyme, this enzyme removes this damaged base from the one strand, and then AP endonuclease introduce a nick. Here a nick is introduced. So in the next step, this is the next step. Here you can see this blue one, this new deoxyribonucleotide has been added, and by the pole B, and then in the next step this group 5 prime deoxyribose phosphate has been removed, and finally DNA ligase fills in the gap and it ligates the two ends. So this is the summary of short patch repair. The eukaryotic enzyme differs from its bacterial counterpart in one very important respect, that is, it lacks 3 prime to 5 prime proofreading activity. You know, after the completion of all these reactions, there must be proofreading. So the eukaryotic enzymes, they lack 3 prime to 5 prime, that is from this direction to this direction. This reading, this proofreading cannot be done in eukaryotic enzymes. However, two other mammalian 3 prime exonucleases, that is TREX1 and TREX2. These two exonucleases may correct the errors introduced by the polymerase beta.